Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce you to the idea of how to find a y-intercept. And I know you're thinking, but Mr. Mawada, I already know how to find the y-intercept. I draw the picture and then I find it. It's right there on the y-axis. Yes, okay, I understand that, but I'm going to teach you how to get it without having to graph it. Okay? But in order to do that, we're going to need to look at the graphs first to look for some patterns. We know that mathematics is built on patterns. So as we look at this, we're going to try to figure this out. So you'll notice that 3 of these 4 you could easily graph if you needed to, right? From the transformations, you could graph those, you could find the y-intercept. This one's a little bit different because there's an x squared and an x, which means the transformations are a little bit weird. So, and you don't really have all the knowledge you need to yet to be able to do this. So in order to graph this one, we would just use a table, right? You'd go x, y, you'd plug in your x values, get y values out. So just a reminder of that's how you do it. What we're going to do is I'm just going to skip really quick. Whoop! There's the graphs. That's what it would be. You can double check my work, but they're right, I promise. Anyway, so what we're going to do is identify the y-intercepts. This one is 0, -4. This one is 0, -2. This one is 0, 1, and this one is 0, -2. Do you see a pattern? Do you see something that is always happening, or some type of pattern for the y-intercepts? Well, hopefully you see that the x value is always 0. Well, the x value has to be 0. In order for it to be on this y-axis here, then it can't have gone to the right or left. That point has to be right on this line, which always has an x value of 0. So I then submit that in order to find the y-intercept, you need only make x equal to 0. So let's check it. Let's see if that works. It does. Just watch. So we're going to go, for the first one, we're going to go y equals 2 times x, but we're going to make x equals 0 minus 4. So that's this first one right here. When I do that, 2 times 0 is 0. So I have 0 minus 4, so y equals -4. Of course, x was 0. Y is -4. Hey, check that out. Isn't that snazzy? All right, let's look at the next one. This is a weird one. It's quadratic. I bet it won't work there. Okay, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it'll work. Just watch. So we're going to put 0 in for x squared. So we go 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 2. And so 0 squared is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. And then minus 2. And 0 plus 0 is 0. Minus 2 is -2. Again, the x value is 0. So I put 0, -2. And there it is. It's the same. Whoop-de-doo! Let's look at another one. Absolute value. Does it work for absolute value? Well, of course it works for absolute value. This is a pattern. Mathematics is built on patterns. It's going to work. Just watch. So I go y equals, and then 0 plus 3 is 3. So I take the absolute value of 3. Actually, that's not minus 3. That's a minus 2. So I do need to fix that. Okay, minus 2. And so then I go absolute value of 3 minus 2. Absolute value of 3 is 3. Subtract the 2 is 1. And so again, I have x equals 0, y equals 1, which again is the same thing. Now, I know what you're saying. I know you're saying, but Mr. Bauer, I see another pattern. There's a -4, a -4, and there's a -2, a -2, and there's a negative. Oh, wait, that one didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work, did it? Okay, so there are some other types of patterns that maybe you can see if it's in standard form. Very often the y-intercept is the last term, but absolute value exponentials don't really have a standard form, so it won't work for them. But yes, if it's in standard form, the last number is the same as the y-intercept. Let's go ahead and do the last one. So for the last one, we're going to put 0 in for x. So we're going to go y equals 2 to the 0 power minus 3. 2 to the 0 power, of course, is 1, because anything to the 0 power is 1. 1 minus 3 is -2. And so then the x value is still 0. I put 0 in for x, comma, the y value of -2. We've now successfully found the y-intercepts without needing to graph, without needing to worry about the transformations, without needing to do any of that. Just putting 0 in and doing some easy little arithmetic math. All right? So take note of that. Be ready to apply it in class.